This is our second textbook assignment from pages 14 through 16. All right, we're going to do problems 12, 16, and 17 on this video. All right, so the first section says solve each equation and check your answer. Okay, so let's go back to the steps we've been learning, and here they are. The first thing you look for is there any distribution on each side? So I'm looking on the left, and there is distribution right here. And there's also distribution on the right-hand side. So I have two different times I need to distribute. Here I'm going to distribute my 3 into both terms in parentheses. 3 times q is 3q. 3 times -5 is -15. That's the left-hand side. The right-hand side, 2 times q is 2q. 2 times 5 is 10. So I get 2q plus 10. All right? So now I'm done with that. I'm done with step 1. Now step 2 says combine like terms on each side if needed. Q and a non-q are not going to go together there. And a q term and a non-q term are not going to go together there. So I don't have to do step 2. 3, use opposite math to move the variable terms to one side if needed. I do have to do that. I have 3 q's over here and 2 q's on the right-hand side. So I use opposite math to move 1 to the other side. The opposite of a positive 2q is a negative 2q, which I do on both sides to keep the equation balanced. That cancels to 0, which is the reason I did it. And here I get 3q minus 2q, and that just gives me 1q, or q. I can leave the 1 invisible there. All right, I write in the remainder of my problem. I have a -15, I have a 10. All right, so lastly, we use opposite math to isolate the variable. That's when we talk about the variables in his house, right? He has his friends, and he wants to kick his friends out. So in this case, there's q, and there's just -15. He wants to kick this guy outside across the wall by doing opposite math, all right? So the opposite of -15 is +15. Now he's canceled, he's gone. You have q on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, you have 10 plus 15, which is 25. So that's how you do that one. All right, let's take a look at these. These are the same thing, same steps, but these are all going to be special cases. We're going to have the OMG moment where the variables go away, and you're either left with a situation that's true, like 6 equals 6. If that's the case, then you have an identity, and any number can fit in there and be okay. An identity means all real numbers are solutions. Or you may have a situation like 6 equals 5, which makes no sense. In that case, you have a no solution, which means no number can be put in there and work. So let's do a couple of these and see how it looks. So number 16, we have 2 times the quantity of a minus 4 equals 4a minus the quantity of 2a plus 4. So when I do my distribution step on each side, I do this. That gives me 2a minus 8 on the left, and 4a. And here, what am I distributing? I'm distributing a little -1. We talked about that a couple of days ago. Here and here. So that gives me 4a minus 2a minus 4. All right? So that's step 1. Step 2, combine like terms on each side if needed. Okay, I do have to do that on one side. Now here I don't have to. This is an a term, and this has no a. But on this side I have 4a and a -2a. 4a minus 2a is 2a. All right, it's combined now. I'm going to rewrite the rest of the problem to keep everything in order. So I have 2a minus 8, and over here I have 2a minus 4. Okay, the third step is to do opposite math to move all variable terms to one side. And I have to do that as well. I've got an a term on each side. So I'm going to do opposite math to move this guy over here. And this is my OMG moment. It canceled on both sides. So what we're left with here is -8 is equal to -4, which is not true. -8 is not equal to -4. So it's not equal, and that is a no solution. No number can go in there and make it work. All right? Let's look at 17. We have 5y plus 2 equals half times the quantity of 10y plus 4. So I'm going to distribute here. That's my first step, and I do see it right here. It has to be done. So let's distribute the half here and here. Now, if you don't like fractions, there's a few things you can do. You could turn that fraction into a decimal. You could multiply that into the 10 with the calculator, 1/2 times 10, then 1/2 times 4. Or just think of it this way. It's saying half of 10, half of 4. Half of 10 is 5, right? So when I distribute half into the 10, I get 5y. Half of 4 is 2. So when I distribute half into the 4, I get 2. I'm done with that part. Okay, let's write the other side in now. It's looking kind of suspicious. You have the exact same thing on both sides. That gives you a key that this is going to be one of those weird ones, right? So I go ahead and do this. I have my OMG moment. They're both gone, and I'm left with 2 equals 2. 2 equals 2 is an identity. That means any number you put in there will work. All right? I hope that helps. Remember, the test is coming up, so please be working on this stuff and ask me questions. Come to tutoring with any algebra teacher according to the tutoring schedule. See you in class.